Good morning, Ranger Dave for West Valley Rural. You know, a couple videos ago, I talked to you about one of my favorite plants in the Sonoran Desert and one of my favorite plants to play with. Well, today I'm going to tell you about another one of my favorite plants, the Cresote Bush. Yeah, really? I'm sure some people are probably, did I hear him say Cresote Bush? Yes, the most common plant in the Sonoran Desert is the Cresote bush. And a lot of people have no clue as to how to use it or treat it or what to do with it. Let's go talk about it. Now, a lot of people move out into rural area to a vacant piece of land, and they come onto a piece that looks kind of a lot like this. Okay, covered in these creosote bushes. Well, you know, and they got to improve it. So bushes got to go, right? That's what they think. It's, you know, just a mangy bush that you know, nothing. You can't do anything with it. Doesn't get very big. Doesn't give you anything. And then they do something like this. Yeah, this is what they do, and I kind of understand some of the rationale, but not all of it. Okay, this is what's called improved property. They bring in degraders, they bring in and just take everything. Not even a bug can live out there. And you're going to park your double wide, or you're going to put your custom home in. That's good. Okay, but then you're going to be eating dirt for your first few years out here. That's not great. And your kids are going to be playing where? Okay, I mean, what can you do? There's no bushes to hold down any kind of runoff. There's no bushes to nothing to stop any kind of wind. Okay, and some of you put so much into that double wider house, you just can't afford, you know, landscaping right away. You put so much in that house, and you know, you're going to live without any tree or bushes for a few years, and that's not a quality of life that you want. I mean, that I'd recommend. There's a better way, and it involves the creosote bush. Now, I think, you know, probably some of you right now are thinking, you're crazy. This mangy little bush, don't get too tall, that's everywhere, can be the accent plant for any yard. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, and I'm going to show you why. Now, I'm standing in front of one of my many creosote bushes that I have on the place, and I'll let you get them. You can kind of see that thing is over my head. It's no longer a short bush anymore. Let me prove it to you. Yep, that's your creosote right there. Now, let's say, how do you get a creosote to grow that tall? Well, it's real simple. You essentially just cut out all but maybe 4 or 5 of the branches. You really just go after those suckers at the bottom and let those branches grow, and you know, they get taller, and just every year you cut out the suckers, and then you just let it grow. You don't really have to do anything. Just every year go after the suckers, 4 or 5 branches, just leave them alone, and eventually it'll get taller than you. Once had a we have our parties out here, and we call what we call margarita night. And I once had a lady that was a fairly new resident out here, and she was brought, you know, she came over to our margarita night. She was standing out next to one of my creosote bushes, just staring at it, staring at it, staring at it. Finally went over to ask her, "What's up?" And she was going, "What is this?" And she wanted to know where to go to buy one. Well, I had to let her know that, well, you know, when you all moved in and I knew where their house was, you probably graded down probably 50 or 60 of them. It's your creosote bush. She did not recognize it because it was so tall and so nice looking. Well, there's other things. Let me show you another one. All right, here is another one of my cresotes. This one's about 10 foot tall, easily 10 foot tall. And how do you get them to grow that tall? Which, again, what I was saying, you just essentially clear out at the base all but 3 or 4, maybe 5, 6 tops, and just keep those suckers, anything other than that, those suckers clear. And then they just clear the suckers every season and let her go. And then eventually you just can let the bottom suckers, like I'm letting that one start. Then you can allow it to fill in if you want it to, or keep it bare. It makes for a very interesting plant. Now there's one thing that that ascetic, this, that's online, that's of interest. And I've met a couple of Native Americans that still do it, and they use a cresote. They use cresote for a tea, a medicinal tea. Now, okay, does it work? Well, okay, yeah, kinda, because it makes you feel better, because that tea tastes so bad that you never want to drink that tea ever again. So yeah, that tea makes you feel better, all right. But again, you could look it up. It's a horrible tasting tea. You just essentially steep the leaves. And, I wouldn't use too many. If you're gonna try that, keep it small. Don't use too many. But yeah, supposedly it's a medicinal tea. Like I say, I have tried it, and yeah, I don't try it. Let's just say I don't try it too often. All right, but yeah, creosote tea makes for a nice tall bush, and it's really underrated. People just get rid of them in their yard, and then try to put something in. And again, you can get these bushes this tall and not cost you any water at all. I figured I'd take you over to see this one. I mean, this one is easily 10 to maybe 12 feet tall. You can kind of see how thick these branches are. That size of my thumb. And look how the size of that. Again, it started at your base. Yeah, about that creosote tea. I don't recommend it. Not even one of those ask your doctors about, okay? But yeah, these are quite the bushes. This, again, look at the size of this one. It's about 10, easily 10, maybe 12 feet tall. Spreads out from the base. I mean, the circumference is easily 10 to 15 feet. This is in my one of my areas where I keep my tortoises, and so I think they're the ones that keep it clean at the bottom, because it's not me. So consider your creosotes before you go ripping them all out. You might just want them around. It's been helpful, and you know something a little bit more about the creosote bush. Yeah, it's surprisingly kind of handy and useful, and can be really kind of nice to have around. And just here you are, a lot of you just staring at them in plain sight, overlooking them, and sometimes just getting rid of them and trying to, let's reevaluate. Let's think about it. Let's think about that creosote bush and be happy that they're around. We'll see you next time, and this is Ranger Dave for West Valley Rural.